Welcome everyone to 223.2payStallionWigs.com. And I am the host, the Joker, of this show. I said that I was going to do a video for everyone and for everyone to hear. So that's what I'm here to do, you see. And it's about the conspiracy to assassinate the Dark Knight, Ricky Cordova, for no apparent reason. And go ahead, Ricky, tell some more lies about your case. Well, here they go. Remember, this is all in black and white. Okay? Now, here's the beginning. Now, back when she got that, she went and dropped it on her own. And you can see her handwriting. That's her handwriting. That's her handwriting. She went and dropped this a couple of days after I got out of jail, and I bumped into her on New Year's Eve. She went and dropped it. Now, I was charged with so-called sexual assaulting her on May 31st going into June. Officer Blankfield was inside the apartment along with 3 other people, the people that's in this. And they was up the street listening. And they gave her this, a protection order. You can clearly see that she didn't write. Somebody from the courthouse wrote this, because the penmanship is way too good. It's a difference in penmanship. Look at this. Okay. Now, to go in detail, her friend April Miller, who was allowed to go to the hospital with her to co-host this story, said that the police officers was up the street listening in the grand jury testimony. You'll see it. I had no attorney, just a prosecutor. No cross-examine, which is illegal in the United States court. Now, April Miller said that Officer Forster was up the street listening, and as well as he was asked in a police report, can you go and arrest him? So that was a setup, you see, an entrapment, which is illegal. Now, also at the grand jury testimony, Breonna Turner was told to get on the stand and lie and say that I called her, you see, which is a lie. You've seen the phone records from Mr. Anderson. She said she believed that I called her the same day I was released, but went on to say that it was on the 2nd of June that I called her around a certain time. Now, when I went to court, when I got arraigned, indicted on my charges and went to my arraignment after I turned myself in, Mr. Peter Parker Lieberman did not want to see none of the evidence that I had to show the court, not the phone records or anything. So therefore, my bond was violated on the 16th because she said that I called her, which was a lie. And I sat in jail from August the 8th. No, from June 20th when I turned myself in to August the 8th. when my attorney, my private attorney, so-called private attorney, who I wired and fired later, came and got me out of jail. You see, I was released the same night on the 8th. But here's some of the evidence that I had. I had this showing me on my truck route. These are the invoices. And these are my actual log times. It was all done electronically. You see? So from stop to stop, it automatically logged. Now, all that to say this. In between that time of the initial charge, when she went to the hospital with April Miller, was allowed to go to hospital with April Miller, and maybe her youngest brother, because I seen him leaving the Mazda, whatever it was, the little bluish gray car. Okay. This went down at Sanford Hospital. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. That's the initial kit. It has her history of her life in this, and this as well. All the times, you know, she has had to visit the health clinic and all this and that. And it came back ruling in my favor. And that's why they had to dismiss my case. You see. But all the phone records and this information, I request to get that, not my attorney. I asked my boss for that. I went and asked my friend's sister to get the phone records as well as my son. Now, in between that, my trial judge, the most honored Judge Bradley Zell, knew when he came into court on that August 8th, you see, on this day, they knew that I didn't call the girl. But this guy, is that Ramsey? Hazley. Thomas Hazley. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Tried to bring him some things in California that was no longer a part of my life. Yes. I moved on from a long time ago. Okay. But the judge shot him down and made him look like a fool. And you're more than welcome to read it because I had posted on the internet many times. So that day when my attorney, you see her name, who I later fired, this took that place on August the 8th. You can see the date. It's on there somewhere, I think. Well, anyway, she came and got me out. And that day, presence, we had my phone records from my son's account, his phone records, as well as Mr. Marlo Anderson's phone records. And I had all this information. That was from my boss, Tom Watson. It's nowhere to be found now. Okay. So in between that time, which would have been 22 days later, I had a scheduled meeting with my attorney, who I fired. Her right here. on August the 30th. It was an appointment at 3 o'clock. Now, this is the problem. How would the girl brother, a witness in my paperwork, a witness in my case, this individual right there, that individual right there is the same person. Now, earlier that day I was at home and my friend's brother, I now call him Toupee, but you guys all know who he is. And I'm telling him I got plenty of it. You see, said after the whole incident and assault when I was incarcerated, and his brother went over there to get the car, said that he seen the car facing the east, the dark colored car. Now, if I committed a crime and so-called running the young lady off the road, hold on, I'll be right back. So-called running the young lady off the road. You see, I used to work for Billion Motors. You see that? And I had contact with the body guys because I used to deliver a lot of parts to the body shop. And Dale and them all know who I am. My boss. I asked around after I obtained the pictures from Alfred. And he told me, a lot of them told me, the body shop on 12th Street and the one over there by the corporate office told me that that's not a car accident. Someone has hit that. And me and Mr. Anderson noticed that right away. But on August the 30th, this is what took place. This sheriff deputy wrote a bogus report and said I was there for 2 protection order violations. Okay? Which is a lie. Because if I committed a crime, he don't have a right to put his hands on me. He is not law enforcement. That is for a lawman to do. You see, he don't have a badge like that. He only can come and apprehend me if I was to skip court and the judge issue a warrant for my arrest and violate my bond. You see, only my trial judge can violate my bond. And you all know it's me, right? Right. I just having a little fun with it, you see, because I can. So, after I get incarcerated by P.E. and the boys, you know the little short guy. He walks around with his pants a little high water and a little pulled up tight. Yeah, P.E. and the boys wasn't acting right on August 30th. Because you was going along with the damn clown boys. So, that day, and you guys can go ask Mr. Krabanoff, the Top Gun, to get his people at the orthopedic surgeon to go over this. Who now has the police chief working at his corporate office in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Now, at the bond hearing, the judge ruled what? That there wasn't any protection order violations. The most honored Bradley Zell ruled that once she failed to report an address when I was just riding, just happened to bump into her and the banger, the musty girl. And before all this even happened, the day that I seen her on May 31st, that was the first time that I seen her in 2 weeks. Why? Because I had got me a new job. I had a young lady that I was seeing, and I had a lady friend in Wisconsin that we had started communicating again. Someone that I had knew and had a hell of a relationship with. You see, I don't care about none of that. See, my daughter Nay, she did one thing she should have never did, and she ruined our relationship forever. It's over. When she ran down there to the Down Clown Boys downtown, knowing that they tried to give me 175 and they staged a car accident, that was a no-no. For no reason at all. So she can have the Down Clown. Okay? My attorney lied that day and covered up the conspiracy because I had a gun stuck in my back and my right hand was broke, and she knew it that day in court and didn't mention it, not one word to the judge. And they knew the bondsman did something illegal, and some warrants should have been issued. They knew it was the bondsman, but the judge didn't know the girl's brother and a witness in my paperwork was there on the scene, putting their hands on me. He didn't know that. But she talked about it in the letter to the prosecutor a couple weeks later after that, after I fired her after this. This is a copy of her original copy. So, remember, they said that I was up at such and such in the morning, and no one came out to Mr. Marlos Anderson's house that morning because they would have found me asleep because I had the day off because I had to go meet them. And I wouldn't have been done with my route in time. Okay. We meet. First, I meet with Trooper Orr at Eastgate Towing. I asked him, could I see the car? He said no, with a shit-eating grin on his face. The arrogancy that the Down Clown Boys roll around here with the badge on the gun that you, the elected officials in America, let them do. You let them be racist because you support the racism. But anyway, he said it was raining outside. There wasn't enough water on the ground for her to hydroplane. And it was a light mist. So, when my friend tells my other friend somehow Ricky thinks he's about to get $330 million from the state of South Dakota, I never thought any of that. But I know Jack had called me in February of 2015 with a so-called FBI agent, and the young lady, Heather Brown, was sitting next to me. You know, the one Mick Jensen talks about in the audio. Yo, Heather in Cordova. And the hood replies, is she on the way? And he says something like, yes, one witness account on college tuition and the person that she's hiring. Right away, I tried to get, when I got incarcerated, when I was incarcerated, that's when my friend told him about the money, the 330. But he had tapped my phone. That's irrelevant. That's a whole nother story. Right away, I tried to get my brother to come see me to contact it, to find where my youngest daughter was at. Because I'm from California and I know how people are. And he proved me just like that. And so did my son. Because he didn't quite understand what went on. So if he got his ball stuffed in his mouth, that's on him. Because I'm done with it. I'm tired of chasing ass and looking and trying to be next to you and Audrey and Alexis and be a part of y'all life. When me and your mom split up, we was a close bunch, you see. And she wrecked it all. So I'm going to let it stay wrecked because I'm not fixing nothing. I'm moving on with my life and find me something new and improved. And that's what it is. I don't have time for that. This has been 223.toupee.styleyourwigs.com. And somebody tell Toupee that I got plenty of it.